What's good with it? It's your boy Simon Phoenix. This is Shots Fired Sunday Night Rant. What's good with it? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope you're having a good evening out there in listener land. So, as usual, my Sunday nights are filled with rants. I try to make them as goofy as possible, not to get too serious in the rant itself. So today's rant is based all around firearms, specifically the Nerf firearm. Now, the idea of Nerf is twofold. Nerf is a company, but it is also an activity. Didn't know that. Didn't know that there were individuals out there doing more with Nerf guns. Now, for you out there who are listening, you think of Nerf as you go buy a little gun, you pull the trigger, and a little foam something comes out. That would normally be the case. But when you jump into the rabbit hole, as I accidentally did because I'm nosy and I believe that YouTube is the devil, now I will elaborate. So recently, one of my coworkers decided to buy me and my son Nerf guns for Christmas. Now, Titus already has Nerf guns, and he is a known shooter. He will run up on you in a heartbeat and be like, "Bow, bow, 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 bow," and run off laughing. Or if you shoot him, he'll fall down and play dead. Good times. So I was like, all right, well, we got us some Nerf guns. And then I walked into the house and a Nerf fight proceeded after I had talked a whole bunch of shit about how gangster I was and I was going to pop everybody. So I got ambushed and they had way too many Nerf guns. Every child had one. The adults had one. It was going down. I had a little 3-shooter. You can imagine how they lit me up. I looked like the Predator at the end of the movie, just stupid and dumb on the floor, mangled up. So they got me to thinking, I'm going to get me a good Nerf gun. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, I'm going to go get me something to let y'all know I ain't here to play with y'all. I'm for no games. That's what I was on. I was like, yeah, I'm coming through. Getting gangster, they gonna feel my raft. That's my thinking. That's what I was on, talking reckless. So that made me get out here and start to search. And while I got to searching and why YouTube is the devil is because I ran across the guy on YouTube, that all he does is Nerf guns. His whole show is dedicated to Nerf guns. Oh yeah, shout out to tonight's fake Cuban cigar. One of my friends brung me because they know I smoke cigars on the show. So shout out to the fake Cuban cigar. And the name fell off and got stepped on. I don't know where it went, so I can't even tell y'all what it is. But it is pretty tasty. A little spicy, but it's pretty tasty. Anyway, so I'm looking on YouTube. I'm trapped. That's why YouTube the devil for me, because I'll go and watch one video about how to fix a car and be 4 hours deep in how to pull off a transmission. That's just the type of stuff I do. I'm interested in learning stuff, so I get trapped looking at crazy stuff all the time. Just repeatedly, like, why am I watching this? Have no clue, because I love YouTube. So I'm watching this guy break down the guns, and he like, yeah, so normally the guns is only shooting like 70 FPS. I'm like, oh, okay. But you can buy these guns over here, them Walmart exclusives, them Action Force tacticals. They gonna get you about 126, 130 FPS. He was like, them is for shooting grown-ups. I said, interesting. My super villain came up. Because I'm all into shooting kids, making it hurt and being like, I got the baddest gun in the house. So I get to researching the more about the guns, find out. I'm like, all right, that sounds like what I'm looking for. Something to pop you and make you run away. So I came to find out that this rabbit hole is definitely one of those situations where, as a fan of knowledge, you can fall into the rabbit hole. And I never knew that Nerf was so deep. I never knew there were so many things surrounded around Nerf. They have organized games that you can go play. They do things such as capture the flag. They have little blow up bunkers and things you can buy. They have things that you can get that when you hit them with your Nerf bazookas and things of that nature, they will blow up and fall out. And they even have like a version of a claymore mine and grenades. I was like, oh yeah, I am in this to win it. Can't help myself. I got a son and we about to shoot up the universe on Nerfing. So I told the kids off jump, I said, look here, children that know me, I suggest you stay strapped. The kids was like, what? I said, yes, you better stay strapped. They said, why? I said, because I'm going Nerf gun shopping. And when I get my firearm, everybody getting shot. I'm shooting everybody in the booty cheek. You know, that booty cheek meat is the best part to aim for. That's what you want to hit. That in the neck. I'm a fan of shooting kids in the neck too. The neck is nice. It hurt just enough to shock them, but not enough to hurt them for real. I love it. I love it. It makes my whole entire day. All right, let's slide out for a hot second. Get some of that, that sponsorship money, some of that commercial money. Let's do some of that. Then we come back, and I got some more serious things to cover as well. Hey, are you tired of having that upset stomach, that bubbly guts feeling? Then I need you to get with Tyrone's Gas X. That's right, Tyrone's Gas X is known to stop upset stomach, farting, wet farting, hard farting, bubble guts, squishy guts, and the runs.
Please use as directed. Side effects may be hair loss, weakness of jawline, weakness of pull-out game, lip dick, and pimples.
Tyrone's Gas X. Stop you from having that shitty feeling.
Yeah, you know what it is. Shots Fired podcast popping.
Johnny Ray Ray's security team. That's right. The legendary Johnny Ray Ray security team has a service or a plan for you, for your home, for your business, for your auto or boats. That's right. You can get a one-on-one personal security officer to take care of everything you need to protect you from any and all threats. If you need more, we can bring and provide a team of well-trained superstars made by Johnny Ray Ray himself. And don't forget our special deal. Right now, you can get our baby mama protection plan. This includes protection from your home, protection for your business, and protection for your personal well-being. Johnny Ray Ray Security Team. Better be protected.
Welcome back to Shots Fired with Simon Phoenix.
So, next on the agenda, having to do with firearms, as we talk about the real life firearms, there is a huge ammo shortage. Now, originally the ammo shortage was due to primers, and the market really just was hit hard by the amount of new shooters and people that wanted to get their hands on some ammunition for the home, that the rush came as a shock for a lot of the factories, and that made them have to work faster, and they got behind and so on and so forth. So there was a lot of us out here as gun enthusiasts that couldn't get their hands on ammo so we could train. And a lot of us is pissed. We trying to figure out if you're going to fix the situation. So as I have dug a little deeper, I see that situation has been taken care of, and a lot of your local ammo manufacturers are starting to be able to catch up. Now the difficulty is to keep them on the shelves because a lot of y'all a little nervous on top of new shooters. Now, the reason I say on top of new shooters is because you are continuous to have large amounts of people be first-time gun buyers and go out and buy firearms, and then they need to buy ammo so they can go out to the range and practice if they're doing what they're supposed to. But then you have a lot of those new gun owners taking classes, and then those classes require you to come with a certain amount of ammo so you can participate in the class. So as your first-time fire owners class, your first-time safety class, things of that nature that several gun organizations and clubs and gun stores and shooting ranges offer. So you have a large percentage of people now indulging in something that before they were not at the rate. And so it is concerning for a lot of us out here who would like to get our hands on some ammo. So what I have seen, though, is there have been a lot of local firearm places and makers of ammo who has started been posting saying that they have ammo and jump into their inbox on their website and order and go that route. For some of us, I know that you live in places where you probably can't get that. I have some listeners that live in LA County and stuff like that. So that means that if you live in LA or San Francisco or something, some places won't send to you. So what you're going to have to do is get someone with a FFL, and then that person is going to have to get it outside of your county. Not to tell you to break the law. I'm just saying that's the only way you could get it sent out to you, that it would have to go to like a firing range outside of the LA County. You break the law after that, that's on you. So where do we go next? Well, I think when it comes to the ammo shortage as it stands right now, I think that by the first quarter, we should be back close to normal. I think the price gouging is going to stop soon because a lot of your dumb purchasers will be done. And then I think the only people that will be left is your people that are enthusiastic about shooting, and I think the prices will even themselves back out. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not for sure. I'm watching like everyone else, but I did have somebody hit my Facebook page and ask me to discuss it, so that's what I'm doing. I find it interesting, though, is that the shortage came as soon as we had a bunch of new gun owners. Which I find more fascinating is something like 65% of the new gun owners were women. So I would encourage those new lady firearm owners to get out here and practice if you can get your hands on ammo. I am a huge supporter of women learning how to shoot. People that know me know that I have been teaching my youngest daughter for the last 4 to 5 years about firearm safety, and taking her to the range and allowing her to get some rounds down range. I believe that a woman with a firearm has a greater chance of defending herself than a woman with not, which is 100% obvious, of course, but I just see it as something that is essential for today's modern woman, just because there are crazy people's creepers and weirdos out here, and the best way to keep them up off of you is, put a hot slug in their ass. I'm sorry, not sorry. And I'm a big component of it. So I root for that. I personally know rape victims, and I know that if they had a firearm in that situation, it would have went down. Point blank, period. Somebody would have messed around and been shot. So excuse me. Smoke went down the wrong way. It is what it is. So, on to our last and final topic of the day, and we're gonna round it all the way out with firearms. That I am a person who watches a YouTuber called Coleon Noir. He is a African American male who is a A2 advocate. Second Amendment, 2A, A2, however you want to call it. He is the guy putting on that fight. And recently he was discussing people being nervous, scared of the AR. And my rant is, for those people that don't know what one is, I suggest that you go and find out. I'm going to give you some free information here, but you should go find out on your own. Please, please, please. Find out on your own. Do the research, do the work. Now, let's get into it. So, a lot of people don't know what an AR is. An AR is an Armalite. It does not stand for assault rifle. And that was the name of the company who put it out on the market for the average person to buy. That stuck and was carried over, let's say, by other companies that have the same platform or using the same internal build for this weapon. And it's normally a black rifle. It's looks very similar to the rifle that you've seen when you've seen World War. I should rather say like right around the Vietnam War, that style of gun. And then it has been modified and tack rails have been put on and so on and so forth to make it change. But the base idea is that gun. This gun normally shoots a 223 round or a 5.56 round, and then there are several variants within there. And those are what they consider your standard NATO round. That means that those rounds are all around the world and highly accessible. And it shoots 30 rounds, or it can shoot 30 rounds if it has a 30 round clip put in it. That's it. There's nothing special. It's not about to break down. It's not about to transform. It's not really scary. It's not a very heavy firearm. Right around 10 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds. And you have several companies that make them. And we are being told that we don't need one of those. That us as the general public don't need one. It is scary because of what it looks like. And that type of firepower should be reserved for military personnel and police. People like me would say absolutely not. It is paramount that you have similar weapons to your police, your army, and so on and so forth, just in case things go left. I know most people believe that they won't, but looking at the times we live in now, it should be a clear-cut idea to you that it possibly could. Most people, like myself, believe that it won't, but you should always be prepared. If you had to defend your house from raiders, you would like to have something more than throwing rocks. Let's just be serious. So when someone says they want to come and get this firearm and they give me a reason why, normally it's because of the fear factor involved with the firearm. And I'm here to tell you that it's not scary. Firearms shouldn't be scary to anyone, like a comb shouldn't be scary to you. A knife shouldn't be scary to you. It just, those things should inherently not be scary. It should always go back to the person holding the thing. Because as much as you think a comb is harmless, any woman will tell you that a rat tail comb with the metal end held in someone's hand and shoved in your neck could send you to the hospital or to the morgue. Now it's a weapon. And once you did that to a person, you assaulted them. But we ain't calling this assault comb now, are we? Go figure. So when you talk about taking weapons away from people because people are morons, Let's just call it what it is. At some point in time, you're going to have somebody crazy or somebody that is emotionally unable to recognize is not a good idea in the moment. You're going to have those people. The question is, how often does it happen, and how much can we place the blame on the firearm? Well, you shouldn't really be putting any blame on the firearm because it starts with humanity first. This is obvious. Let's go overseas and have a conversation about people who lost their rights to firearms, lost their rights to pistols as a firearm, and now they're having a conversation about knives because they're over there stabbing the hell out of each other. So at some point, you got to get to the understanding that it's the people. It's whatever you have going on that's making human beings act that way. It is not inherently the weapon. Because they went to knives, they didn't go to spears. They didn't start pulling out axes. But if you take the knives away, I'm sure somebody might go get a spear. Somebody might go get an axe. If they feel like that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do. And then when you're talking about it in America and what kind of crimes are committed with what weapons, criminals don't commit weapons with ARs. They commit crimes with pistols because they're easily concealable. So when you have that kind of conversation with people and you come back around to it and you're like, look, you're scared of the firearm because you never shot it. If I take you out to go shoot it, if I teach you about it, if I give you confidence in understanding it, it's not scary. The only thing that is scary is the person behind it and their intent at the time. I always tell people, most people are scared of firearms because to them, looking at the firearm means that it being used against me means death. And this is true to a certain extent. But you don't inherently have that same fear with vehicles, but more people die from crashes all the time. All the time, like all the time. So, and as a African American gun owner, I view it from the point of view of, as crazy as things have been for African Americans throughout our history in America, I'm definitely going to keep my gun. I'm just saying, I'm definitely going to keep my gun. I can't I'm not letting my gun go for nobody. Because the likelihood of somebody trying to leave me not breathing is high. And I want the best opportunity in protecting myself and my family. So, with all of that rambling going on, I guess what I'm saying to those is pay attention to what your lawmakers are doing right now and have some kind of wherewithal to make sure that it's not affecting you. So, if you live somewhere that's not like California, that has a lot of stupid gun laws, you don't want those same gun laws to pay attention. Well, guess that's going to be it for the Sunday night rant. I have been your illustrious host. I like that word. That's why I use it. Simon Phoenix. Thank you for coming to the show. This has been Shots Fired. I appreciate you more than you know. Be on the lookout for our next Thursday show. Very special guest is going to be in the building. Anyway, I'm Simon Phoenix. This has been Shots Fired. I will holla.